I don't think people fully understand how huge Randy's arrest really is. This is not just some random side character getting picked up by the police after a bad night. No, to me, this changes the entire way I look at Joey, Plasma, Leah, Ren, and honestly, the entire underground structure operating behind Beyond the Gates. Because the second Randy got caught trying to play innocent and claim he was just out getting late night food, the illusion completely shattered for me. Marcel and Elon didn't believe him for even a second, and neither did I. That scene practically screamed guilt before Randy even opened his mouth. What stands out to me most is the fact that Randy was clearly following Joey's orders. That part matters. Randy is not operating independently. He's not some criminal mastermind improvising in the middle of chaos. He's a pawn. And pawns only move when somebody higher up tells them to move. That immediately puts Joey under a massive spotlight, whether he likes it or not. And this is exactly why I now believe Joey's warehouse is the same place where Leah was training those lower level workers how to behave around VIP clients. The moment I connected those dots, everything started making sense in a much uglier way. Joey is absolutely tied to Plasma. I don't even think the show is trying to hide it anymore. But here's where my opinion separates from a lot of viewers. I do not think Joey is the real boss. I think Joey is a buyer. A powerful buyer, yes. A dangerous buyer, absolutely. But still just a customer inside a much larger machine. That's why Leah and Ren kept talking about clients and payments. Those conversations never sounded like they were taking orders from Joey directly. The energy always felt transactional to me. Like Joey was someone purchasing Plasma through connections rather than controlling the entire operation. Leah and Ren were the middle people making massive money handling the exchanges. Joey benefits from the business, but I don't think he built the business. And honestly, that makes the situation even scarier. Because if Joey is already this manipulative, this wealthy, this secretive, and this dangerous while only being a customer, then what kind of monster is sitting at the top of the chain? That question keeps bothering me, especially now that the warehouse operation completely collapsed after the shooting. The most interesting detail to me is Joey refusing to appear at the delivery location. That was smart, extremely smart. Villains survive by staying invisible. Joey clearly knew better than to physically show up somewhere that could expose him. And once Randy stopped responding, Joey immediately understood something had gone wrong. You can almost feel the paranoia setting in. There's no way a man like Joey just sits calmly after losing contact during a major exchange connected to Plasma. That silence probably saved him. Because Jacob's raid clearly spiraled out of control the second Leah unexpectedly arrived. And I actually love this detail from a storytelling perspective because it shows how fragile criminal organizations really are. One unexpected variable destroys the plan. Ren probably thought he had the timing under control. Jacob probably thought law enforcement had enough positioning to contain the scene. But Leah showing up changed the energy instantly. And when chaos enters a room full of criminals with guns, somebody always gets hurt. The reason the VIPs never appeared is because the entire operation became unstable before the transaction could fully happen. Joey was likely one of those VIP clients waiting from a distance, watching, measuring risk, staying hidden. That's exactly what a careful predator would do. And this is why I keep circling back to Kiel. I know some viewers still think Joey is secretly the impaler, but I just don't buy it anymore. Joey is shady, but he feels too exposed now, too emotional, too visible in the narrative. The real mastermind usually exists in the background while everybody argues about the obvious suspects. That's why Kiel scares me more. We barely know anything real about him. And whenever a show gives me a wealthy character with a mysterious past but only lets him tell the story of that past, alarms start going off in my head immediately. Because what if half the things Kiel said about himself are lies? We already watched Joey lie to Vanessa in the beginning with that ridiculous story about needing an apartment for his mother. That wasn't just manipulation. That was strategy. Dangerous people build fake emotional narratives to lower defenses. That's what predators do. They study vulnerability first. So when I look at Kiel, I see the same possibility. A man with money, influence, limited background information, a suspicious amount of mystery, and most importantly, emotional distance. The shell keeps him strangely protected from exposure. That usually means something. To me, Kiel fits the profile of someone who could secretly operate as the impaler while letting smaller criminals take all the visible risks underneath him. Joey buys, Leah and Ren distribute, Randy transports. But Kiel feels like the type who owns the system itself. And if I'm right, then we haven't even reached the true horror of this storyline yet. Now, let's talk about Randy again, because I genuinely think Joey's next decision regarding him will reveal Joey's true character more than anything we've seen so far. Will Joey go bail Randy out? Or will he abandon him completely? That decision matters because criminals like Joey usually value silence more than loyalty. If Joey believes Randy could panic under pressure and start talking, then Joey might step in to protect the investment. But if Joey thinks Randy is disposable, then Randy is finished. Completely finished. Personally, I think Joey at least attempts to intervene somehow. Maybe not because he cares about Randy, but because Randy knows too much. And when people inside criminal networks know too much, they become liabilities very fast. But the person I'm truly worried about is Jacob. Everything else almost becomes secondary when I think about that leaked image of Jacob lying on the warehouse floor. I hate even thinking about it because Jacob cannot die right now. He just can't. From a storytelling standpoint, it would feel wrong. The plasma storyline is still expanding. There are too many unanswered questions, too many hidden players, too many financial connections we still haven't uncovered. Jacob is the only character positioned correctly to expose all of it. He's emotionally invested enough to keep pushing, but also intelligent enough to connect pieces other people miss. Killing him now would destroy the investigative backbone of this entire arc. And honestly, I don't think viewers are emotionally prepared for that kind of loss either. The fan debates have become intense for a reason. Everybody is arguing over who got shot because nobody wants it to be Jacob, Grayson, or Derek. I've seen people practically begging for the victim to be Leah instead, which honestly says a lot about how viewers emotionally process morality in this storyline. Leah has crossed so many lines that audiences almost see her injury as narrative justice at this point. And speaking personally, I understand why. Leah helped build this nightmare. Whether she answers to Joey, Kiel, or someone else entirely, she willingly participated in exploiting people for profit. She normalized cruelty. She trained workers to treat wealthy buyers like royalty while human lives were being turned into commodities behind the scenes. That's evil to me. Cold, organized evil. So, yes, if the shooting victim ends up being Leah, many viewers will probably feel satisfaction instead of grief. Ren, meanwhile, clearly survived the immediate gunfire based on the leaked images. The fact that he managed to grab the gun before police restrained him tells me survival instincts completely took over. Ren is slippery, opportunistic. He's the type who reacts fast when everything collapses. And honestly, that makes him dangerous moving forward because desperate survivors tend to expose everybody else while trying to save themselves. That's another reason I think the plasma story is far from over. A failed raid does not end criminal organizations. It fractures them, and fractured organizations are even more dangerous because trust disappears. Everybody starts hiding evidence. Everybody starts blaming each other. Everybody becomes paranoid. Joey will become more cautious. Ren will become more unstable. Leah, if she survived, may become vindictive. And Kial, if he truly is the hidden monster behind everything, might finally be forced to step out of the shadows to regain control. That's the stage I think we're entering now, not the end of the plasma storyline. The escalation, because this warehouse shooting didn't clean up the corruption. It exposed how deep the corruption really goes.